otherwise.
There's a lot of really good accents out there. Australian does have to be like at the top for me though. Like gotta be up
Like,
there.
listen, if anybody knows Valorant, the day Sky dropped, because she also dropped on my birthday, I was swooning actively.
I'm trying to think like what accents be. Like Australian's definitely up there.
Scottish accents could kind of go either way. Like it could either just like make you sound like a complete buffoon, or it'll make you sound like really hot. Or in the case of like Connor Hazard's VA, both. It makes you sound like a himbo.
Both.
Well, it's both because of what he says.
Yeah, he just says like the most like low IQ, unhinged shit, but I love him. He's so precious.
Wait, do I have the tweet saved of like him basically saying, "Guys, I realize that it's all the support's fault." Like, I really love that tweet. Where is it?
Wasn't that the name of like his team he had for like some creator tournament?
Brax.
I don't know. Like that sounds right, but like it was just the funniest tweet. Hold up, I'm on his Twitter. I will find it.
While you find it, I'll welcome everyone back to our 25th episode For the Love of Prod. Surprisingly, what we came in to talk about was not the weirdest thing we were talking about before we got started here. But everyone, welcome back as always, joined by Huntertain and Megalass. And this week, Mega was able to bring in a banger of a guest. It is CeeBee. CeeBee, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, I love the cold open style mid conversation, just dropping right into the thick of it. I completely tuned out and I was like looking. We were talking about Connor Hazard's VA, like some of the tweets he put out. I was like moving over to his Twitter, and then I hear Dex just be like, all right, well, time for episode. Let's start it. Let's go."
No, trust me, that's a normal thing. That's a normal thing on this podcast. I will normally just hit the start recording button in the middle of some random conversation. It's only backfired on us once, surprisingly.
Wait, did someone like was someone like dropping a slur or something? Like really just letting some of those like
no. Mega goaded Hunter into saying something that both me and him decided probably was not the best thing to have on the podcast. It wasn't any slurs. It was no slurs.
You're making it sound worse than it was.
Hunter, what did you say?
Something about something about kill.
Repeat it. Right, it'd be fun. Just repeat what you said.
Dex, are you able to? Are you able to? You know, I don't care if you're just gonna cut it out again. I'll just say it again. Honestly,
I'm not gonna cut it out.
No, don't cut it out.
I don't want to.
Oh my god.
Hi, Zay.
Oh my god. Hey,
we'll know what was said.
Hey, look at distractions, Zay. Have you met Zay, CeeBee? Have you met Zay?
No, I haven't. Oh, Zay's precious. It doesn't at all want to be there right now.
No, she's fine with this.
All right, yeah, she's good. She's good. For a second, she was like, "Please put me down," but then she's like, "Oh, I could be annoying."
She's fine with this. I'm happy she didn't try to eat my glasses right then. All right.
I thought she was going to straight up.
She's precious.
True.
I very much so miss having a cat. I want to get another one eventually. I don't know when, but planning on it.
Kitty cats are great.
True. I'd love to, but I've been like slightly allergic most of my life. So like, it would like some cats like somehow you have less of a reaction to it. Like my mom's severely allergic, but we almost had a cat because she just had no reaction to it whatsoever.
There's like different breeds of cat that just like produce standard more than others. I think I don't actually know the whole like the physics or anything behind it, but I know like if you're allergic to cats, usually if you get like a hairless cat, you're fine. But hairless cats aren't for everybody. And then there's some like short hair cats where you'll be fine. But if you get like a big fluffy like a Maine Coon or something, like you'll die.
I think she's a short hair. I believe I remember from the Humane Society they said she was a Torby.
A Torby?
A Torby.
I haven't heard of that one.
I'd never heard of it either.
I've heard of a tortie, like as an abbreviation for a tortoiseshell. Oh wait, maybe is it like a tortoiseshell and also a tabby bred together? Because like she looked like a tabby when you were holding her up.
I thought she was a tabby too, but like I mean she was brought to the Humane Society as a friendly feral. Which, in my opinion, I always just say it means that she was probably living under someone's deck for a little bit before that they were brought in.
Yeah.
But
That tracks. That's kind of how Echo was when I had her. Like, she was friendly, but she was a stray. She was just like, she literally just wandered into my friend's house, and they were like, "Hey, Cassie, do you want this cat?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, like if I can afford the bills and all that stuff." And she's like, just come meet her." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And like that was a trap. Like I went home with a cat.
hate the pop filter.
So I realize y'all are talking about cats, and not to fully derail this, but I found the Hazard tweet I was looking for, but I found one that's 10 times better about him talking about how Hazard would date couches. So I'm just gonna put that in general.
Okay. The JD Vance strategy. I love that.
Whoa.
Okay.
We are off to
Perfect.
a great fucking start.
What do you mean he would date couches? Like, why is that a thought you would have?
General. I put it in general. Yeah, he was talking about the date everything game, and he just. I feel Hazard would be into Scottish sofas, maybe mops.
Is there okay? First of all, maybe
Wait.
mops. Okay,
What the fuck is a
I don't wanna
Scottish
even
sofa?
Hey,
Yeah,
you-
hold on. Scottish
What is-
sofa. I swear to God,
Okay.
if it's just like plaid. Yeah, the
No,
first
no,
one
no.
I see is just a plaid sofa.
Okay, wait, hang on. So the important context here. Do any of y'all know what date everything is?
Do I want to know?
I mean, I
Is-
assume I can make
it
an
is a-
assumption.
Yes. Okay. So it is a dating sim on Steam where basically you move into this house and there's a bunch of stuff in the house, and then you get an app on your phone that lets you turn the stuff into people, and you can date the stuff.
So things that are in like the
Yes.
real worlds around you, you can date them.
No, in this house.
Oh, in the
Like,
house. Okay.
like I know there's a globe. I think the staircase is a gilf, if I remember correctly.
Four.
Oh, bro just started dating the washing machine. What am I watching?
What the fuck are we on?
Remember when this was about esports?
There's a stepbrother joke in there somewhere, and I'm trying to like mentally connect the dots, but I can't like.
Don't even mentally connect it. Just fucking make it.
That's just,
At this point, we're so far gone.
This is like Monster Prom, but better.
better. What do you mean better? First of all, Monster Prom is peak, but secondly, like, why is it better to date a washing machine than a hot like you know?
You gotta get to know the washing machine. You
Okay,
gotta
but
get to know them.
hear me out, CeeBee. Do you like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes, yeah.
What
I'm
if I
scared.
told you the fireplace, which is just a guy on fire, was the same voice actor as Zuko?
Okay, I mean, I get it. Yeah, Zuko does have a pretty good voice. I could see it, but like, still, like, I don't know. There's some pretty hot monsters in Monster Prom. Like, I forgot their names. It's been a while since I played it, but like the void one with like the eyes all over, like she's a baddie. I think her name is Zoe.
Sounds right. That sounds right.
I think that's Zoe. Yeah.
Hey Tex, do you enjoy what I've done?
Yeah, it's Zoe.
I'm fine.
Okay, I don't want to like.
No, I'm fine with
No,
it.
this is chill.
Are we? So, how? I didn't actually get the memo on like how acceptable is swearing on this podcast.
Perfectly fine.
All right, sweet. So I don't want to like turn y'all into monster fuckers, but like, come on, like she's.
Want to turn y'all into monster fuckers.
I don't like. Well, like it's.
Hold
Tell
on.
me like you wouldn't date
just to
or
make sure everyone understands.
like come on, like I'm known to enjoy women of all shapes and sizes, you know, femme, butch, buff, you name it.
Same.
Covered in tentacles? Yeah, absolutely. Real quiet after saying that. No one co-signing on that. Not even Megalass.
Listen, I'm just saying, I will gladly co-sign on this.
Okay,
Hunter's
there's
got
the cosign. There's the cosign. It took a minute. Okay, that's why it was quiet. We were setting up for the payoff there. All right.
I said same before you started saying tentacles.
Oh, okay.
See, I just thought up a really bad joke that might upset you.
Who, me or her?
No, sort of CeeBee. It might have.
Oh yeah, go ahead, upset me. Let's do it.
I was gonna say takes like this is why Blizzard isn't called.
That's their loss. All
It
right,
is.
that's their loss. All right,
Based.
they need to add a little bit of extra spice on top of things every now and then.
That's great. But hey, speaking of Blizzard hiring Hex, I mean esports, right? We love esports.
Yeah, we love esports
Yeah.
here. Welcome back. This is the production podcast. 10 minutes in, and I feel like it's time to actually get on to talking about the production side of it. We'll derail at some point again. I know we will. We always do. But CeeBee, we normally ask everyone 2 questions. We normally ask our guests 2 questions every week on our podcast. The first one being, what got you, Hunter? Stop. What got you in to doing esports production? What got you into esports, and more specifically esports production? And then the second follow-up one will be, what kind of keeps you coming back to esports production? So,
All right,
what got you?
so what got me into it was basically I was following competitive Overwatch. Overwatch was like my gateway drug into the esports scene and production and being a caster. I've been following it pretty much since the old OGN Apex days. I used to be a Cloud9 fan because I was a big fan of Mendo Kasai. And then like him and Surefour and that whole gang, I was like, all right, that's my team. And then Overwatch League kicks off. I'm like, all right, Houston Outlaws, they got Mendo. That's my team. Didn't pan out the best, but I just remember like following through and like alongside watching all that, playing all of the games, playing in like open division with teams, realizing like I'm never gonna go pro. I'm already way older than like half the people that I'm playing with, and like I just don't have the mechanics there, but I like to yap about the game. So later on down the line, we start doing actually I'm playing for my collegiate team at Drexel University, and Unfeatured starts his first year there, and he's like, hey, I want to start doing production stuff because he's a gigantic production nerd. He wanted to do some prod games or some prod streams for some of our team games, and he's like, we need a caster. And I was like, sign me up. I've been wanting to cast for like years and years now, but I've never had the courage or anything because a lot of the, playing and following along was pre-trans me, totally different person. That guy had no riz, no charisma, no confidence whatsoever. But now I'm like, I got this. Fuck yeah, like I'll crush it. And then like I did it once, I fell in love with it, and I was just like, this is awesome. I want to keep doing it. I want to keep casting, give you more opportunities to learn and grow. Calling All Heroes comes along. I'm like, sign me up for that. That's gonna be my home. I want to make that my own. And I just like, yeah, kept going with it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't want to get this wrong, but like from the time that you started casting to being on Calling All Heroes, how fast was that? Because I feel like I've always kind of described it as like you shot up incredibly fast from it. Like, was it within a year that you went from your first cast to doing Calling All Heroes?
Pretty much, yeah. Like it was a lot of things clicked right out the gate. Like it was, right away there were people who were like, yo, she's really good at this. Like has really good analysis. She knows what she's talking about and she makes it fun. And I was like, awesome. I'm gonna go VOD review and I'm gonna start like working this out to try and get better and improve more and more and more. I started doing with Tiny Shiny, and as we all know, she's great. She is another person who shot up lightning quick. And I was like, I'm more than happy to hitch myself to that for as long as I possibly can, and we just like shoot up together. And that was a blast. I did my first VOD review, or not my first VOD review, but I did a VOD review with Leg Day, and he gave me some like real good pointers. The cast that I did was like, your basic like run of the mill stuff. But it was still really productive and really awesome. And he said something at the end of it that stuck with me. And that was, I don't think you're wasting your time here. And that was when I was like, okay, I got this. This guy who's like casting Overwatch League at this point in time believes that I have what it takes to keep going and I'm not wasting my time chasing this hobby. So I should put more into this. And then I just did and kept going. And I made it my mission to cast Calling All Heroes. So that quick rise was really fast, but that was because I like really wanted it and had people behind me and around me that believed in me and were like, yeah, you can do this. You're totally good enough to make this happen. And I was like, bet.
Yeah, and like we've had other people on in the past who always talked about how they got their start, and we would always talk about how they would go from league to league, getting better and better opportunities. And I would always talk about you in particular because you shot up really, really fast, and it's for all the right reasons as well. Like incredibly talented caster. Well, and you have a huge, huge following. It seems like the majority of the Overwatch community really does like you. I will say the meow thing is a little bit weird, but I feel like now that I have a cat, I can't necessarily say that.
I mean, like that just kind of caught on because like I thought it was a cute thing to do at the time, and I still had Echo with me at the time, and she would pop in every now and then while I was casting, and it just kind of fits in with like the calling all heroes culture because like we're all queer over there, we all meow at each other, like this is the thing you do when you're LGBT. You might not understand, but that's part of it.
Yeah. Get down there.
Zay
I
really wants to be on
expose the
camera today.
expose the insider secrets of calling all heroes.
Yeah, the insider secrets is always it's just like the transfem communication protocol where you just meow at another person and suddenly you're friends. Like that's just how it works.
Wait, is that supposed to be a secret? Did you just leak it to the world?
I mean, there's plenty of like posts and stuff going around on Twitter, and like most of my following, if they find me here on this podcast, they'll have already known. So it's not like I don't think I'm gonna like
Worst kept
spread it-
secret.
I don't think I'm like spread. Yeah, it's not the best kept secret. Like I'm not gonna be spreading the contagion all over the place. Like it's pretty well contained so far.
No, it really is. But I mean, so you've already touched on a little bit of why probably the reason you keep coming back. But what is the reason that you really do keep coming back? Other than one, I don't know where. Just go. What's the reason you keep coming back? I'm sorry for the awkward question.
Well, I guess I kind of already touched on it, but I keep coming back just because I love what I do. Like it's just awesome. Like it feels really cool to get to cast, especially high level games, and it kind of doubled down once I like actually got into doing calling all heroes because I had done a couple marginalized gender tournaments before that with Altiora. That was one of the ones that I did before that. I was like, yo, I've already kind of been in this scene. Let me show you. Yeah, I reached out to Load Screen, who was doing the production for one of the COM minors, and I was like, yo, I've already worked in the scene. I know some of these players. Here's my reel. Here's what I've done. Let me on your show. That's when I started like getting to know the players better and starting to build more relationships with them and started spectating scrims and watching them and taking notes. And it just kind of became this whole like labor of love while also getting to know the community really well. So it's like, I love this community and I know that they support me. So I want to keep that relationship going and doing what I love. Like every single part of it is fulfilling. So I just keep coming back to it.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like I'll say this: it was weird not seeing you there for this last Calling of the Heroes major. That's not to take. That's not saying anything bad about Jesse or Twin Salty, because I believe that would probably have been your spot. But I mean, you were a player in the minor, or no, in
Rising, yeah.
Rising. Fuck, my bad.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, you were one of the best players in Rising. It really did seem like that.
Well, okay. Again, also like no shade to Twin Salty, but getting replaced by a cis white guy on Pride Month, like a little bit of a personal blow there, but he did a good job. He earned the spot as well, so I can't be too mad. But I was still just kind of like, all right, if I can't cast the show, I'm still gonna play in it. I'm just gonna join a Rising team. So I just like switched over to DPS. The people for Atlas Kesco, specifically Edgy Mom, she called me up and like just out of the blue and was like, hey, do you want to try it for our Ka Rising team? Because I just like posted some clips of me like playing Sojourn and Plat, like just on stream. And she was like, this would be cool. Like, well, let's have CeeBee on the team. So I go in and I'm like, I just love all of the players on my team. Like we just kind of like click as a team immediately. Freya comes out and is really, really strong, and I'm one of the only people in Ka Rising that's like, hey, this hero's busted. I should give her a shot. And to say I'm one of the best players in Ka Rising is a bit of a stretch. I mean, I did win, so I guess I am one of the best. But I was kind of hard carried by my team because everyone on that team was good, and hard carried by abusing broken heroes because Freya's just like at that stage she was literally just so brain dead. Like you just spam the take aim shots down mid and something will die eventually. Like and there's nothing they can do about it. It was so crazy. And no one played like a Sombra or a Tracer or anything that like could get on me and like counter me. So it was just free.
Yeah, and I mean, your entire team was good. I mean, I covered a lot of the stuff on Rising Core for Echo. Hunter, I know you were there as well. Mega, I think you casted a couple games. I mean, the Rising community was a really fun one, and it was good that they like having Rising Core there to show them off, make sure that they got some eyes on them was always nice. But just calling out heroes in general, it seems always to be like one of the best times in just the community, in the Overwatch community itself, because you always end up getting like the best people, or you get the best out of people.
It's one of those things where it's like everybody really loves the scene around calling all heroes because it means something to them. And especially for like the rising people because they're players that don't, they don't compete in tier 2 or tier 1 like OWCS like some of the other COP players do. So they get their chance to like actually compete for the first time and get a little taste of like what it's actually like, get to know the game better, get to know what it's like to build a team a little bit better. And, whether it's on the main broadcast as they used to do, or if it's on Rising Core, they get a little taste of like actually being on the spotlight on the stream. That means a lot to a lot of these players who've like never experienced that. That's awesome. It's, the passion around the Calling All Heroes scene is like one of the things that make it as cool as it is. That's why I think everybody, wants to do so well in CA and like try so hard, and you get the best out of all these players because they love the scene and they love what they do, and they also want to see it succeed because that's like their home. Like that's all of our homes.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll look back at last year for OWCS, the 2 LAN events that we had. You were there at both of them, and you were there and you both of them got asked to go up there and like talk about calling all heroes, and essentially were the face of it, I would say.
I did kind of end up being like the de facto face of calling all heroes for a while, and like I'm totally fine with that because it's like it was a crucial step in my journey as a caster to get to cast calling all heroes. It was like my first major goal where I'm like, that's what I want to do because that's the scene that I identify with, and I want to help make that scene into something better. And also give back to the players for doing the same for me because they're what makes the scene what it actually is. So I was more than happy to like go to bat, be the figurehead or the face of that brand whenever I needed. They want to interview me on just to shill for CA. I got it. I'm there 100%. I'll do that every single day of the week. And I also kind of like in some ways feel like a mom to the scene as like a lot of like esports players are all like responsible or not responsible. That's the opposite. They're irresponsible kids. They're like, some of them don't always know how to be a person, and a lot of the people in Calling All Heroes are no different than your average like esports player, but they also have some of the same struggles that like I as a trans person identify with. So I'm like, hey, let me take care of you. Just like I got you. Like,
yeah, I mean, just always great, but I kind of want to move away from talking about Overwatch here for a moment because you, while are primarily known for Overwatch, you have started to branch out, or at least try to branch out to other games. Valorant, I know you were really trying hard for Apex at some point last year, and you got a part of a broadcast there. What was it like to leave like your home game with Overwatch and go out to those other games where you have a following for Overwatch, but for something like Valorant, something like Apex, there'll be some crossover with knowing who you are, but there really isn't that much.
It's really hard to be completely honest because like you say, like I built up a decent following in Overwatch, but that doesn't like that name value doesn't always carry over to Valorant, and it doesn't always carry over to Apex. Apex in particular was hard because they don't really have a whole lot of like grassroots going on, and the people who do run grassroots tournaments can't afford to put on like a broadcast for it because like everything's going towards like the cash prize, and like that's really all they can afford. So it's one of those like I've got onto a couple of broadcasts for it, and I tried to like really knock those out of the park as best I could, so I could maybe get called back for something else in the future. But then there's just nothing in the future for Apex. So like that was really hard. Valorant has been difficult because I don't have I don't know if I should say this because it might just kill any chance of me playing Val or getting to do Valorant in the future. But like I don't have the same passion for Valorant as I do Overwatch. Like there's no situation where I would get, I would miss out on a spot to cast Valorant and then just play in the tournament anyway because like that's how addicted to the game I am. Like that doesn't really happen for a lot of games outside of Overwatch. So while there's more opportunities there, it's more about like how confident do I feel going into those opportunities because I don't practice as much, I don't play the game as much, I don't know the game as much. Can I live up to my own standards there? Like that's a little awkward. I talked to Uber about that because I know like he had also made that same jump to Valorant, and I was like, "What did you do?" And he was like, "You kind of just have to like throw your pride out the window and just be like, all right, I'm the dumbest person in the room now. Let me just learn from everybody else around me." And I was like, "Okay, bet I can do that." So that's how I kind of learned and got a little bit better at Valorant. And then I've also done like some Marvel Rivals and some Deadlock here and there, just like little bits and pieces. Overwatch, I think, will always be my home game as long as it will have me, but I have tried to look at some other things. It's rough.
Yeah, and I mean, like we've had a lot of other casters on who have also like they have their main game, but then they also try to branch out to other games because it's especially in esports. Like I feel like limiting yourself to one game on the production side isn't necessarily the best idea. At least if you're trying to grow like maybe your following or at least your own brand. But like also just having the passion for the games is another big thing. Like I tried to learn Valorant. I really did when it came out. I was really into it for 3 weeks. And then I started playing ranked and got told to kill myself every time I die. I was like, yeah, I can give this up. at least in Overwatch when I suck ass, no one will necessarily care.
Yeah, I think there was a time where just trying to like one trick one game and being the best at it and like letting your passion shine through was like the way to go. And I kind of caught my stride in Overwatch like right at the tail end of that time, where now there's a lot fewer opportunities, so you have to try and take whatever you can get and cast a wider net. So yeah, I think Hunter, I think you and I are both doing Marvel Rivals here in the next couple of weeks also.
Yeah, we both are. They haven't. I don't think they've made the official announcement yet. Which, to be fair, I don't know if they're even going to do an announcement for talent. But yeah, we got it both coming up here.
Probably not, because they were talking about it being like a quasi audition for like the whole season. But it's I was just like, hey, that's somebody I know. There's like,
hey,
yeah,
like, hey, I know like 3 names here. Let's go.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun time having like some familiar faces. I hope to see you do really well over there as well, even though you and Dex have been getting some good breaks over here in the Overwatch world lately. Congrats for that, by the way.
Thank you. Like,
thank you.
I'll be honest with that. We were shocked not to see you be a part of it. We were also shocked not to see Spectreon a part of it as well. Because Spec has been covering EU and there was no real EU representation in that, and it seemed like a lot of other people were wondering where Spec was, just because no EU at all was a big surprise.
Yeah, but like not to peel back the curtain too far, but I was initially offered a spot to do FaceIt, but it didn't pan out because I think one of the days ended up getting cut, so they just didn't have me on. Which I was like, okay, fair. And then I'm looking at who they did actually bring on. It was the people who were doing a lot of work to try and co-stream the FaceIt games already, which does make it all the more interesting that they didn't bring on Spec, because you have people covering EU, let those people cover some EU games. That would be pretty cool. That said, though, like I was still kind of happy to see the two of you and like OC getting chances. Some of these people who haven't had the chance to cast like tier 2 or like bigger things just yet, getting to show what they're capable of. Like that was awesome to see. So again, like it's another one of those things where it's like I kind of missed out on that, and I feel bad, and it sucks. But I'm also kind of happy for some of my friends who, have also been putting the work in, and every now and then, someone's tree has to bear some fruit. So
Yeah, and I mean, OC was great with Bull Skunk.
Oh,
And
yeah.
honestly,
Mhm.
Bull Skunk, the only person who had 2 days, in my opinion, I think the only person who really deserved to be on both days. They cover FaceIt 5 days a week in 2 regions, which it they really
yeah,
do deserve really do deserve to be on both
homie
days.
makes Face It like a full-time job,
Mhm.
and it's like I like I don't like have the time to do what Bull Skunk does for Face It League. So like yeah, no, and it was kind of like the same thing like Face It League like the first time around when they just do the one duo and it's Bull Skunk and Kenobi, and I was like, of course they had to bring Bull Skunk on
Mm.
because you have this person who's like a former caster, hasn't had the chance to do as much casting lately, but has been making the best of it by being one of the only people consistently co-streaming every single Face It League game, or every single one that you can do, because there's like overlapping ones, but still like,
Yeah.
making a full-time job out of it. Like, yeah, reward that. That's like, that much hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, I joked around with Hunter, especially when it came to the talent announcement thing for that, especially when it comes to the photo they used for me, because I realized they just grabbed a photo from my Twitter account.
Yep.
That photo is from Dallas last year. Apparently, I have not posted a good photo of just myself in that long, and I realized the past couple months I've just been posting shit posts of myself.
Been that long, huh?
Like, there's a couple
Well-
good photos, but they're not straight on. And probably the best photo I had was also with Bailey, Sam Talks, and Mara from Winthrop.
Let's get all of them in one picture. It's like, which one? Which one's Dex?
Exactly. Just put the question marks at the bottom. You'll have to find out who it is.
Just have like a whole group photo that you take. Like, did you do any photos like all the CGL guys? Just do like a big group
Yeah.
photo and like circle you in like a red Sharpie and like that one.
I don't have the time. I don't want
Where's the?
don't want to scroll
It's
through
the
my
photo of
entire
like
Twitter.
who was it? Was it you that was like laying on them, or was that somebody else? Like there was a photo with like who was that in that photo?
Fuck, you're gonna make me find this now. Shit.
I do because I love that photo.
Shit.
I love that photo.
Here, well,
Get the photo with Dex just like sleeping on someone or whatever.
No,
like-
no, it wasn't me sleeping on someone.
Not quite. But
I was
like,
on
you're in
I
the
was
right
on
direction.
someone's.
Well, fitting because they've been sleeping on you for forever.
True.
Thank you. Okay. I'm slowly gonna find.
That was a
this.
really genuine
Fuck!
thank you.
I can't. Where the fuck is it? Okay,
You don't have it as like your background photo, dude.
Here, I probably have it somewhere on my own personal fucking Discord. Talk about something else while I try to find this.
Yeah. But,
God damn, I don't.
But yeah,
I'm-
oh, Mega, do you who?
What?
I was gonna put Megalass on the spot if you didn't take the ball. I was gonna be like, all right, we need to talk about something. Megalass was the first thing that comes to mind.
That's a bad question right
Um,
there. I don't know if I trust Megalass too.
Yeah,
What
I knew it would be
in the
bad. I was
heck?
like,
Look,
What
I'm just being
in the
honest,
heck?
right? As co-host, I'm just being fair here. Okay, I think it's good to be honest.
Honesty. You want honesty?
Yeah, I do.
Listen, you're great at Freya, CeeBee, but and you're my friend, but I hate you. I hate you on the highest of keys. My team's
Wait.
making me play Tracer. I hate it.
oh yeah, wait, didn't we play against your team in Swiss? Was that?
Yes. Or no, it was
Or was it?
round robin, whatever it was called. No, we
Oh, was
definitely
it-
put
Yeah, for Kunoichi, right?
No. We played in the regular season of COD.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that was Swiss stage for Rising. Yeah.
Yeah. And I literally the only map I feel like I got any fucking traction on, y'all, was Saravasa. But again, your Freya was just so unbelievably annoying. Like from a caster, I would have loved to have been in the casting booth. I would have been like, oh my goodness, this Freya's popping off. But like playing against you, I'm like, holy shit, this bitch. But
I
yeah,
remember
Dex, did
like
that give you time?
I remember
Oh, go
looking
ahead.
back and like watching you guys like cast back over it after the fact, and I was like, it wasn't a whole lot of like, holy shit, this Freya's popping off. It was like, hang on, we blinked and just like someone's just dead. Like,
I
oh,
found
there
the
we go.
photo.
Yeah, that should have been your photo there.
Yeah. What is that? I know that's Headrammer.
That's
I'm trying to recognize
Headrammer,
everybody
Piers,
else.
MI Blizzard. I think that's Starwolf.
It might be
That's-
Starwolf.
Is that Star Wars? No.
I should put my glasses back on. It
I
might
don't-
be a little easier to tell.
Yeah, this was from the CGL house in Stockholm. Headrammer rented a house that was themed to the 70s.
That's
Crazy.
that tracks. Didn't wait. I don't know if it was just. I don't remember if it was okay. Someone in Stockholm told me about like a Viking bar, and I
Yeah.
think I don't remember if I passed that information on to Headrammer or if it was Headrammer that gave that information to me. It was either someone passed it to me and I thought of Headrammer and was like, "You got to go to this bar. This seems right up your alley," or he showed it to me because he just found it. One of the two. Either way, Headrammer went to a Viking bar at some point.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Headrammer passing on to you, but he got it from Spec and Joker, who after it seemed like after every day at DreamHack Stockholm, they were going out to pubs and bars. So it wouldn't
Everyone
surprise me.
was like that's the well, I mean, like I don't drink, but I still like go with my groups. But like everyone's always going out to get like just completely shit faced after every day at the conventions. That's the DreamHack way.
Damn, apparently I'm a loser.
That's the DreamHack way. That's the BlizzCon way. Literally every convention that I've been to since I started actually being able to go to them. It's been you go to the event. After the event, you like go out, get dinner, get shit faced, and then you get like maybe 2 hours of sleep, and then you go and do it again the next day. Rinse and repeat until it's time to get on a plane and leave.
Damn, you're proving to me that I'm just a fucking loser. I never went out. I just went back to. We would go to dinner, and like 3 of us would always just go back to the house.
Everyone else would just be like all ragged. You come back and you're like, I'm so well rested. Like,
Yeah, I guess. But like dream hacks for me to the ones I've been to, it's like, hey, they're giving away free monster. I'm at least grabbing 3 of those things a day.
oh yeah.
So even
Everyone
on 8
needs
hours
a-
of sleep.
Everyone needs those to get through it, but like that's a hangover cure for half of the people at the venue. For you, that's just like, oh boy, coffee. Like,
Free drink.
yummy aspartame.
Can I just
Well,
share that I'm disappointed that DreamHack is now sponsored by Red Bull?
Do they at least have the sugar-free Red Bulls? Because like otherwise, I don't know if I can go. Like, I gotta have my like artificial sweetened beverages.
They probably
Exactly.
do, but like I have this weird thing with the yellow Red Bull, where anytime I see it, I'm automatically anytime I see it, I'm automatically gonna think of the final Owl Grand Finals.
Hunter drinking
I-
a nice
I-
tall glass of King's Row. Let's go.
I knew that's
Every
why
day-
you laughed.
Every day, first day I go onto scrims, I go for Lijiang, and then I say, waiter, another glass of King's Row, please.
I have so many colors I can make this drink, and every time we do this podcast, I purposely make it green. I love it.
We learned
What is that? What is that? Is that matcha or like?
No, it is sparkling water, and it is these Skittles water packets, and I just put them together, and they are like my go-to drink now.
So you intentionally made a beverage that would be green so that you could chroma key out your drink and make it looks like King's Row.
That is the process. Yes.
we learned last week not to ask Hunter to mess around with this chroma key.
No, we learned that last week.
We had him set to blue, and apparently his skin was close enough to be chroma keyed.
which is crazy.
You are looking a little bit blue lately, Hunter. Is there something you want to talk about? Like,
Hunter hit the chroma key.
Okay, fine. Give me 1 second. Which one is it? It's this one. No, don't discard. That would be very bad. Don't do that.
This is, I mean, this
Okay,
is an
but-
odd
but-
question. I see your teeth. I don't like that.
It's not my teeth.
It's his
Oh,
lips.
that's your okay. It's your bottom
Yeah.
lip. Okay, that's
Yeah, it's
a little bit
weird.
less unsettling, but still kind of unsettling.
Only slightly, honestly.
Now go to magenta where it captures your lips,
I
but not
know.
your face.
That was.
I
let's
mean,
go- whoa. Hi, I'm back. Let's go custom color. There's got to be something here. Let's go orange. Holy shit!
Well, I guess you got a nice tan. If it's going orange.
I said we were gonna get off the rails again, but here we are.
It's
I
crazy.
didn't realize it was gonna be this quick. See, like, this is why I don't use chroma key, just because like I'm afraid of showing up to like a call and like not being able to fix it, and like it just shows up like that.
Mhm.
Like,
Look, I don't care if I don't have my green screen. As long as I have my Winton in the corner, I can be happy with anything that I ever do.
yeah, how you could put that with like any color. You're chilling.
That was actually one of the funniest comments I saw while the stream was going on. I looked down very briefly at my phone and saw, wait, Hunter has Winton in his corner. And
I've
no
always had
one
Winton in the
acknowledged
corner.
it. No one else acknowledged it. I just saw one person say, there's a Winton there.
I've had Winton in the corner like consistently for every cast for like the last like year and a half now. Bro does not leave my side.
Oh, like once you get out into the spotlight, you know, people are gonna finally pick up on it. Maybe it'll take them a while. Like, you guys did like 15 maps. So was that
15.
like 13 maps in, and they're finally like, wait, holy shit, there's been a Winston there the whole time.
I think it was during the final series that someone noticed it. But he got called
Nothing
J3
gets by
so
you.
much.
I got called J3 multiple times.
No, you've got hair. I can see it.
Barely.
But like, yeah, barely. It's still there. Like you're. Question. How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot on the dot.
Oh yeah, like yeah, totally different person. That's not J3.
Exactly.
That's
J3 is like 4'5" or something.
Yeah, this is like J3 evolves into you. Like you're like J like 4 or 5. Like,
Okay. So J3 is like the pre-evolution.
He's J6
Yeah.
because he's 6 foot tall.
True.
True. 1 second. I need to change my Twitter handle real quick. Be right back.
All right. Let's, I guess, try to drag this podcast back to its normal
Yeah.
thing. I mean, CeeBee, just with everything with esports production in general, I mean, for a lot of people, it is a real labor of love. You have really worked at fucking hell, I can't speak. You worked at higher levels than all of us combined for a longer period of time, where it's a labor of love, but it's also this point where you're getting paid for it. And I have to feel like the pay is a bonus to what you're doing because you really do love what you're doing. Is that what you kind of look at it as sometimes?
Kinda, yeah. Like, so I don't ever want to put out like I would do this for free because then no one will ever pay me for it again. But you know, I do love what I do, and you know, if money were no object, if like there were no money in esports at all and no one was getting paid, I would still happily be looking for any opportunity that I can to still do what I do. But I do like when you get to that level, it's still kind of like it sucks because you do also kind of have to charge your day rate for it, because then it's like you still have to like make sure that there is still a floor for that everyone can stand on, and you're not like undercutting other people, and you're still like, you know, it's kind of hard to find the words, but like you don't want to, you don't want to undercut other people, and you want to make sure that there is still money and that there's still, you know, a standard being held for each position. So as long as it's like commensurate for what the position is, what the tournament is, and your notoriety and how much work you're willing to put into it, like, yeah, but I'm still like, but I love it though. Like I still want to do it. Like, okay, I like you. I know you only have like a paperclip and some pocket lint in your pocket right now, but it'd be really cool to get to cast this. So like, I don't even care. Just give me a mic. Like, I won't tell anybody. Like,
I'll take payment of 2 Arizona iced teas and a slice of cheese.
yeah, like So like y'all recognize the WWE Championship. There's that like indie wrestling meme of like a hot dog and a handshake for doing like
Yeah.
an indie wrestling event. That's like I would cast for a hot dog and a handshake if it meant that I got to cast some good Overwatch. And I'd probably make a real clip out of it so I could charge for 2 hot dogs and maybe like a high five and a handshake, like start to haggle my way up the chain a little bit, but I'd still be happy just to be here.
It's like that. Fucking building on to that analogy. There was, I forget where it was. There's somewhere on Twitter where it was like someone was commissioning an artist or like something. It was like the artist is typing in, oh yeah, 2 shawarma and a Coke, and the person who's commissioning them says $200, and like $200 is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's straight up like that's me when I'm like negotiating rates with like tournament organizers. I'm like, what's the budget? Like, because I will happily do like this is an awesome, and if we can make it work, sure, 2 shawarmas and a Coke Zero because I love aspartame, but that's good. That's all I really need. Like most of there was like a period of time like I can't really do it as much anymore because I haven't had as the gigs haven't been stable this past year, and I have to try and like focus up on school a little bit more while I don't have as much going on in Overwatch. Outside of when I was practicing with Atlas Kesko, there was a period of time where if I was logged into Overwatch for any extended period of time, it was because I was like spectating scrims and just like watching and trying to get to know the players, how they play. Are they going through a rough patch? Are they making any adjustments? What's meta? What's good? What's bad? How do you counter things out? Trying to make sure that I have like the best notes possible. And like, I would even start to do that for a while if I had nothing coming up. Like if I didn't have anything on my calendar, I'm still just like, I'm bored. I want to go watch people who are better than me play this game. Are they playing it right now? Can I get in the lobby, please? Thank you.
That's one thing, like especially with what me and Hunter did this past weekend. Like I honestly went back and watched not only the playoff games for some of these teams, but some of their regular season games, as long as the code still worked, which newsflash they didn't. Which killed me, but it's like I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can, because even though me and Hunter had casted some of these teams or most of those teams throughout the regular season, Young and Beautiful was a team we never got to. We just never covered them. And it was like, I need to learn everything about Young and Beautiful. And it was like, my biggest takeaway from them was, hey, they play Symmetra a lot. They play Symmetra a ton. Maybe the most of any team in NA. Then I'm starting talking about Alex playing Symmetra. They'll sometimes play Tracer. They played maybe 2 minutes of Sim the entire series. I was like, I sound like a fucking idiot.
I've had that a couple times too, where like it would be different for me, where because like I would spectate these teams in scrims for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and I would see them consistently playing one thing, and then I go up onto the mic for like Ka, and I'd be like, this team loves to play like the Reinhardt Rush comp. I've been seeing them play it for like so many scrims, and then they come out and they just total meta slaves, and I'm just like, so I'm just gonna paint the word jackass across my forehead, I guess, and shut up and never speak again because I was blatantly wrong. But no, it was me getting deceived, and not just like, oh yeah, I had no intel to work off of, so I was just trying to throw together what I could.
Let me just go get my dunce hat and put it on for the rest of the show, and then everyone will know how I'm feeling at the moment. But I mean, outside that, just some of the people. I mean, you've talked about it, the people are really great to work with, whether it be the other casters or the production people. And most of the time, a lot of the people that we've had actually come on before have really just said the reason they keep on coming back is because the people that you constantly work with or you work with are just so great, and maybe some of the best people like that we've met. Like I will say this: some of the CGL people, some of the BGL people, BPL people. Not BGL, but
yeah, the BGL people, the BBL people, yeah,
the BBL. Let's go.
let's get off track again. Why not? Yeah, but the BPL people like are some of the best people. Like Headrammer, Hippie, Knock, Solomon, like those are some of the best. Those are like some of the best people I think in esports just themselves. And then you have everyone else, all the observers, all the replay ops, everything that goes into it. Like they really do care. It is it's great to see that from people who aren't most of the time getting paid. Like, it is a real labor of love for them. And I imagine like you've also had experiences with probably the people I've talked about, but outside that, just different people as well.
Yeah, well, like for me, it's like getting to interact with pretty much everybody up and down the chain. Like getting to hang out with some of the OWCS casters at the DreamHack events was like that was magical, and getting to talk and like pick their brains and just be people with them for a little while. And then all of the people that I've worked with like Radiant for Calling All Heroes, all the people who do the prod and the behind the scenes stuff for OWCS, like it it's bittersweet in a way because part of it is because we're not as big as we used to be back in like the Overwatch League days. Like there's a lot less money in it. There's a lot less people here. But that does kind of mean that the people who are still here are here because they want to be here and they show that. So yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, every time I do a show, I'm sticking around like after my call time. Like I pass it off to the other casting duo. I don't even care. I'll stick around and like watch the whole thing and just chill with prod and the prod call, or I'll show up like an hour early to call time and just chill with prod because they're awesome people and it's nice to just get to hang out with other people who share the same love of the thing you're doing as they're doing it. It's like everybody loves it. We all want to be here still. That's what's awesome about where we are now, but it'd be nice if, we had a little bit more stability in the scene. It's like give and take.
It really is. But going back to what you said, like the people that are here still want to be here, and they've essentially become like essentially a close knit family. It really seems. And like I can go back to the after the final day of DreamHack Stockholm. I mean, Unfeatured was with us. He went to dinner with us. And it just so happened to be that all the observers were going to the exact same place we were going. And Unfeatured, he ate with us. And then once they all came, he said his goodbyes and went over there with them. And it was like, and I think he might have ordered a whole nother meal as well. But it's like, it shows you like how close knit everyone is, that even though like Unfeatured had left with us, once he knew they were coming there, like he immediately said, "Hey, I'm gonna eventually just leave you guys and go hang out with them." And we were all completely fine with that. And because Unfeatured is slowly starting to get into that group of people because of his work with OBS Sojourn.
Yeah, and like again, speaking of people who are passionate about what they do and are here because they want to be, Ob Sojourn is like the blueprint for that. Like, Homegirl puts in so much work just to put up those POV things, and it seems like such a thing that would be like so easy. It's like, oh, you just go in and you hit record, but it's like you have to do that 10 times for every single game that's out there. And then you also have to, edit it all down, make it so that you don't have all of that extra fluff and filler in between. You got to upload all of it. You have to make sure you got something resembling an upload schedule. You got to make thumbnails for every single one of those. And it's like, that's where she's got to bring people like Unfeatured on, people who also love what they do and are going to help try and support that. So like, again, yeah, it's a tight-knit family because everyone who is still here loves what they do. That I will say though is infectious, and the people who are just like kind of fans of this of the scene, or even some of the people just involved in kind of like the Overwatch scene as a whole, they kind of catch a little bit of that bug here and there because we talked a little bit at the top of the show about Connor. The VAs like Connor, Matilda, Valeria, all of them, like they all, they love this as well. Matilda, I want to give a shout out to her because she is one of the sweetest, kindest people I've ever met in my life. While Unfeatured was dining with the OBS team at DreamHack Stockholm, I was dining with the casters and her, Matilda, because she saw me in the lobby and was like, "Are you doing anything?" And I was like, "No." And so she just grabbed me and said, "You're coming to dinner with us." And I was like, "If you say so." I
Kidnapped.
Yeah, I got kidnapped by Matilda, and like, it's because like she knew me from the work that I had done with like EXO in the past, and she was just like, "You're CeeBee, yeah, are you doing anything? You're coming to dinner with us. You're just coming. I'm not gonna hear anything about it." And then she like turned and asked like Jaws is like, "Is there room in the Uber?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think so. Seats 5." And she's like, "Okay, good, you're coming." And it's like, I didn't have any say in this, but I'm not arguing. I'm happy to be here.
Let me see if I'm right about this. Matilda is Brig, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. I was gonna be really mad at myself if I got that one wrong. But there was something you talked about a couple minutes ago where, behind the scenes you're actually able to talk to a lot of the casters and production people like as themselves. What's it like to actually talk to these people in just a normal conversation that doesn't have anything to do with esports, where I'm not saying they're dropping like an act, because I don't think it's truly an act. What's it like to actually, interact with these people outside of an esports kind of not setting, because you're still talking to them at an esports event, but was it like to talk to these two casters and these big production people when they're just kind of relaxing?
It's so it is a little bit awkward because it's like they're not dropping an act or anything, but you still are always gonna have this level of like parasocialness because it's like, oh yeah, I'm chilling out with like, Zoe, who I've been watching on Overwatch League every day for years and years and years. And she's only become aware of my existence within like the past couple of months, and we've only had these scattered interactions here. So, you just kind of just like treat it like you're meeting a new person, but sometimes you know more things about them than you should, and it's just weird. But they're all really cool, awesome people. Like they're super super chill. While we were all hanging out, Zoe asked me if I was a lesbian, just to my face. Is like, so are you like a lesbian? And I was like, I looked down and I was wearing a flannel t-shirt, so I was like, I get it, yeah. I got you.
What a question. Like, were you mid conversation? Was it like middle conversation, or was that the first thing she said to you?
It was a kind of a mid-conversation thing. Like she didn't just like turn to me and ask, like, what are you, some kind of lesbian? And it was like, no, like we're in the middle of a conversation about just like, I don't even remember what it was about, but just about life and about like where we are. I think she might have been talking about her kid and her husband and the life that like they've been building and all that stuff. And she, while trying to get to know me, was like, so were you like, just like completely lesbian? And I was like, I kind of lean that way mostly. Just like trying to awkwardly like not just like dodge the question or not, but also not be like directly be like, yep.
I mean, I feel like if you just said yeah and then moved on, it would have been more. It would have been more of a power move by you.
Probably, but I wasn't trying to do like power moves there. Like I'm chilling out with these people that again I kind of know parasocially, and like they know of me and they know me, but they don't really like know me, and I don't really know them as well as I think I do because again I've only seen what they've put out on the screen up until that point. So, but it's still one sided, and like that's one of those things that's kind of like you have to get used to it and kind of like break that down little by little and help them get to know you, which only happens if they want it to happen. So you can't just be like, "Let me." Oh, wow, you're my hero. Let me tell you 50 things about myself. Like,
I mean, again, you could power move.
too many power moves and people just kind of walk away and stop. It's too powerful. I don't want to deal with it anymore. They just leave. Like, I don't want to do that.
You just build up an aura that they get scared of.
Just show up, stanced up, and just like stating facts. Like, yo, you want to hear my whole backstory? Check it out. Let me tell you about the time I was really, really sad in the Navy. Like,
I'm gonna drop a 50-page lore book on you. You better remember everything.
yeah, it's just like that. Like, sometimes when you make friends, you info dump. You just start talking about your lore. I don't do that with people that I know parasocially or that I've been following for years. I'm like, small talk. We'll start there. We'll start with being like, "Hey, what have you been up to outside of Overwatch? How's the kid?
Yeah, funny enough, I hit Hunter and Spec, or I think last month with apparently something they didn't know, because I jokingly made a tweet saying like, I wonder how funny it would be if I made a tweet after it. It'd be really funny if people figured out I was bi based off if I did an Overwatch characters look tier list. And I think both Spec and Hunter had a second there. They're like, "What? Wait."
Huh? Hunter, your
Why?
thoughts?
Yeah, Hunter, what are your thoughts
What are your
on
thoughts? Yeah. Do you approve of Dex being bi? Do you
I
have
didn't
objections?
know, but I was happy. I was happy to find out.
They
They
tried to throw it
have to
back in my
find out.
face. They tried to throw it back in my face, saying that I was homophobic because I never told anyone.
I don't think that's how that works. Like.
I just
He
My
never
goodness.
he never said he wasn't.
no
okay?
one. I said no one ever asked, and everyone just probably assumed he's white, he has a beard, he's in esports, he's probably straight.
I like the idea that you like what Hunter just said. Like he never said he wasn't. Like imagining someone just stating, "I'm not bisexual. I'm one or the other, but that's up to you. All I'm giving you is that I am not bisexual. I'm not a fence rider. I pick one."
I need your confirmation.
Figure it out, buddy, and you better tell me by the end of the night, or else I'm gonna be pissed.
Damn.
Delivering
Been-
ultimatums, Jesus.
I mean,
I've been buying you drinks all night. You better be one or the other.
I'm
sorry.
buying you drinks and you specifically drinks. I better give you a big fucking hint.
No, you buy them you buy drinks just to mess with them. Like that'd be the power move in that situation.
So Dex, who's your as the token bisexual of the group now, as I've decided? Who's your top like number one for wood in Overwatch characters for both male and female?
True.
I feel like it's gonna be an obvious answer for I feel like a lot of people. Bap and Junker Queen.
Very tasteful. I obviously I will always support someone saying Junker Queen outside
Zarya's
of the
not that
instinct
far
for me to
behind.
just be like Zarya. You like once I kind of acquired the taste for like muscular women, I was like, oh, I'm all in on the Junker Queen train. But I also kind of felt like I should have gotten into this sooner so I could have like enjoyed and appreciated Zarya while she was like the only thing that we had. She was our oasis in this desert of other beautiful women.
It's never too late to join the Wheyfu club.
The Wheyfu?
Yeah, that is a real thing. That like
Wait.
muscular girls in
Oh.
manga are called waifus.
I thought you just
Oh.
mispronounced waifu completely,
I-
and I was
thought
like,
so
Nope.
too. I was like,
Nope,
what? Wait.
Trust me, I know a little bit too much about.
Instantly.
I know a little bit too much about this. Waifus are a real thing.
okay. I didn't know that, but yeah, no, totally. Sign me up for the waifu club. All right, happy waifu, happy waifu. That's what I always say. Bap is also not a bad answer. I think like there's also like the guys in Overwatch don't often get as much love as they should.
No,
But
they
there are
don't.
definitely there are some absolute smoke shows over on the sausage party side of things.
I mean, it has to go Bap, and honestly, I don't like any of the male tanks.
Not you don't like Hazard? Like Hazard's kind of got like that kind of bad boy feel to him though, right? Like
Here's the thing: I respect someone who canonically has a relationship.
so okay, so you're bi, but you're definitely not a home wrecker. Okay, so. All right, so where does Reinhardt sit on this? Like, because he's like got a kind of like not confirmed hard thing with Ana, but like
Old.
okay, he's but like
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Yeah, are you familiar with the term daddy? Like, come on.
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I hope my parents have stopped watching this. Yes, I know
Okay.
the term daddy. I know the term mommy. I can't wait for Echo to go back and clip that. No, it's just like
Don't worry, I'll tell her. I'll make sure.
it. Like he's old. He was gonna die in the story. Malga's just insane. Sigma's Sigma's out of it.
Sigma is also like literally insane. Yeah.
Yeah, Malcolm would make for like a really good like friend, like almost like a best friend, but like I don't know.
He would be kind of.
If I
he would
say
be a good
Life
friend, I think,
Weaver,
but,
am I
like-
blasphemous about just if I say Life Weaver?
Let me put it to you this way: I think a straight man could say that he wants to be with Lifeweaver and could still claim being straight. I think
It's the Ryan Reynolds effect. Like you're allowed.
Like,
I like Lifeweaver.
no,
I
Hunter,
mean,
put that shit back up.
Lifeweaver's pansexual, but he also kind of exists outside of the realm of sexuality. So, like, regardless of what you are, you could still, have like a fling with Lifeweaver and still be whatever. You could be a complete lesbian, only ever been with women, have a one night fling with Lifeweaver, doesn't count. You're still a lesbian. Cis straight dude, same thing, same thing.
I don't know how to get this back on the topic of esports production now.
Wait,
You
this is an
can.
esports podcast?
I think it's gone, buddy.
At some
I think
point,
it's
like
fucked.
there's about a solid 20 minutes of every one of these podcasts that's dedicated to esports production. Whatever other time there is, it's just there.
We told my story, towards the beginning of it. There was some production in there somewhere.
Yeah.
We got. And then, Hunter changed the chroma key. That's production. That's a production trick.
True.
Mega, change your outfit. Production.
Yeah, boom.
Raw.
Let's go.
I can also dab. Does that count for production?
Sure, why not?
It's not bad. I think the other hand has to come up a little bit higher. Also, you've shrunk.
I shrunk myself. Don't worry about it. I can do that.
Honey, I Shrunk the Megalass.
I'm stealing this. I'm talking about myself now.
Go ahead.
I'm really starting to realize that like being a VTuber is just going to hinder me if I ever actually want to do shit with esports, and like that sucks. But at the same time, I'm like, I guess I'll just be depressed.
Mega, you get on me for talking shit about myself. Please don't.
No, I'm allowed to talk shit about myself.
Hunter,
That's
get
like the
that image
rule.
off your fucking screen.
I'm allowed to be.
What?
There's so much
What is-
production happening here.
It's
Clearly,
been a
you
while.
don't.
Wait, do I have the good? Wait, do I have the good one? Please don't I have the good one
That's
sitting
not
by
the good
itself.
one.
I made
No,
it
there's
into
the, no.
I
This
made it
this
into a
this is the
sticker.
good one.
Oh, shout out Poofa.
Shut up, Poofa.
Let's
Bonnie's
go.
femboy.
Poofa.
Let's go.
Go listen to her episode. Or their episode. Go listen to their episode.
It's a great
Wow.
Great episode.
It's a
Canceling
see him.
Dexatron.
See him.
Yeah, I was gonna say
See him.
canceling fucking Dexatron.
See
You
him,
missed.
Poofa.
You swung twice and missed.
Bro,
That's
he
criminal.
is done.
The good news is you can't really get 3 strikes in that. You can swing twice and miss, but the
I-
third time, like, you're
can
pretty much out of
fucking
options.
try to get 3 strikes. Watch me just go back to sheer.
Maybe we cut that. Maybe we cut that part out.
Yo, that Monka fucking W.
We're fucking off the rails. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Mega, like a couple times, like I
Uh-huh.
don't know if I've talked to you about it, but I've talked about you behind your back about you being
I
a
love
VTuber
it.
and a caster, and I think that it's a really cool niche that I think like we don't really have in the Overwatch space. But the idea of you getting to like cast a LAN at some point in time is like funny to me, because have you ever seen like VTubers attending conventions, but it's like a
Yeah, but
screen on a stick?
I want, like, here's the thing. If I were ever actually to the point where I'd get to cast a LAN, I would just bite the bullet and go IRL. Like, I would see if I could, like, get a nice green wig or something at the very least. But I would fucking love to be able to just be like, hey, I'm at this convention casting, and it's just me on the little stick driving around.
That would be so cool. That would be peak and so much better than just like you going IRL for the first time and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, they told me Megalass was gonna be casting that. Who is that person with flesh and hair and eyes? Ew.
If you look back over at the Discord, you can see our good friend in the flesh, dressing up as Mega for Halloween.
Oh wow, that
was such a funny day,
That
because
was an incredible
we
day.
all agreed we were dressing up for Halloween TV, but he didn't tell anyone, and he revealed it on broadcast out of nowhere.
That's
was
hilarious.
so funny.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure the
That's so
clip,
hard.
because again, we were on broadcast, so I couldn't like full on crash out. But I think I just said I hate him for like 10 minutes straight.
That's the outfit you're literally wearing right now too. Like that's the same outfit.
Yeah, I'm
Yes, I've got 2 outfits.
gonna try to get this open here so we can talk about. We've talked about this before. on this podcast.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it on Fletcher's episode? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
Ironically enough.
But you did talk about how you got Fletch on for Pride Month, once again replacing me with a cis white dude in the middle of Pride Month.
Yeah.
That shirt, by the way, with the way, like, first of all, I mean, he is absolutely wearing. He got that shit on, but the shirt is also giving just a little bit of like Steve from Blue's Clues. Like, you see what I?
Yeah.
Anyone else say like, yeah?
Blues.
Blue's Clues is like a Horcrux of Megalass at this point.
Yeah, that's like a tier 4 on the product.
Listen, whenever we get to the end of this, CeeBee, keep the blue. We're gonna put a pin in that. We're having a pin in that. It's gonna come back. This is an unironic bit. It will come back.
Wait, is it a bit or is it? Did I stumble onto like something key here?
It's a bit. It's a bit, but we've had 2 people in back-to-back episodes, not last episode, but 2 episodes before that, who gave us answers we never expected and have almost destroyed the question. But before we get to that point, Hunter and Mega, do you guys have anything in particular you want to ask CeeBee about casting or working in esports? Trying to get the train back on the tracks.
I'm gonna ask my usual thing. So Mega, if you have something,
no, you got it. You got it, champ.
Okay. I always ask this whether I genuinely know the answer or not. But there are a lot of great names that are made in the esports world. So where specifically does CeeBee come from? For those that are not aware.
All right. So, you know how, well, I don't know if you know how, but for people who don't know, I used to serve in the U.S. Navy. And there's a job in the U.S. Navy called CeeBee, spelled SEABEE. And it's basically people who do, like, construction for the Navy. It's got nothing to do with that at all. Everyone assumes because I was a veteran that's why my name is. It's actually literally just my initials. That's, yeah, CeeBee, Cassandra Brown. I made them into a word, and that's it. That's all it is. I did also have this name before I had my chosen name, like pre-transition. So CeeBee is also the initials of my dead name. And fun fact, when I transitioned, I was like, well, I want to keep the name. I gotta pick something that starts with a C. I can't like, I don't want to just like rewrite my entire online persona here. Like I gotta go with something new. So. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of depth to it. I threw a curveball with the Navy thing, but everyone always assumes that's what it is. They're like, "Oh, is that it?" I'm like, no, it's not that deep.
I mean, Hunter's name is not deep either. It might actually be the most shallowest of all of our names here.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah, you're a very shallow person. I've observed. Yeah,
I am very shallow. Yes. Joke my mother always tells me.
What does this become?
Your mother shouldn't be telling you that.
But someone has to.
Dear God, guys, please.
That's more of a father kind of thing. It's kind of thing that like your dad should be telling you. Your mom should be uplifting you.
What if neither parent uplifts you? Because then that's kind of how you got me. So.
You want to talk?
Like, do we the therapy.
Listen, people keep telling me to go to therapy, but like, listen, there's tea behind me going to therapy. All right, I'm 0 for 2 on very bad therapy experiences, to put it mildly.
but have you met like a therapist VTuber though? Have you gone down that route yet?
You know what? I haven't tried. Everything in my life. I should go to a VTuber doctor. I should go to like.
I bet
you're so right. We're figuring it out.
I feel like a therapist VTuber
I bet this
is a
really
slippery
exists.
slope to other stuff.
Do they make therapists for VTubers?
There is.
I'm sure there's someone on
there
Twitch who does
is
it.
threads and stuff. Yeah.
Going back to the name thing, though, I know me and Mega, our names have nothing to do with what our real names are.
No, I'm the only one who has association with my actual name.
There are therapists who are VTubers, but there are no therapists specifically for VTubers. Apparently, VTubing is not enough of a mental illness for it to necessitate a therapist being prescribed. So,
oh, bullshit. This shit is definitely a mental illness. 100%. Oh goodness. Oh,
I have
Man.
many regrets sometimes about this podcast.
Dex, I'm just saying, I want a clip every day of the week this week. You've got so much content.
You have
You've been
ammunition.
handed
I haven't been writing down.
everything.
I haven't been writing down like normally. I write down like, oh, clip here, clip here, clip here. There's probably 3 clips I could pull from like the first 10 minutes of this.
Just go back and every time you put your head in your hands, that's a clip. That's where your timestamp
Wow.
starts and ends.
I have a lot of edit.
Lots and lots. Hey, listen.
For tomorrow's
It's fine.
podcast.
Mega,
I'm
You
I-
already got
I'm gonna
like
put
sounding the
tweet-
alarm for echo.
I'm gonna put the tweet
Oh, yeah.
out here tonight saying, "Hey, here's what we have on for tomorrow." Yeah, we talk about how they got in, why they keep coming back, and we're off the fucking rails.
Dex, to
Surely
get more
there's
off the
a-
rails, you should look in general real quick. You haven't seen it yet.
oh yeah, with your light screen Discord, yeah.
Light mode is superior. Eat shit. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, I want to be blinded every time I look at my computer.
Me, I'm blinded. I'm blinded. Fucking actual weaklings. Your eyes are made of like goo, and you will die young.
Everyone's eyes are made of goo. That's like one of the founding elements of eyes.
He put it up on the screen. He's so disappointed.
Don't be disappointed. He's the one who said it. Like,
I love
the one who-
Echo. Guys.
No, don't be
I love
disappointed. I'm the one
Echo.
who said it. I'm the one whose idea this podcast was. I was the one who wanted to bring you on earlier than what we did, but Mega got you in here.
I can't be like buttoned up brand friendly all the time. This is the energy that I bring to like my Twitch streams. So it's like that's the version of CeeBee you guys are getting today. So you are never going to be on the rails for longer than like 5-10 minutes. As soon as somebody mentioned Junker Queen, I was going to roll out my tongue like the red carpet and go off a hinge.
My tongue like the red carpet is fucking diabolical.
Okay,
Oh my lord.
that's at least clippable.
We got a note
Jared,
there. We got one note there.
We
All
gotta
right.
know. Let's go.
I hate that there's like 3 clips that I've already kind of think like, oh yeah, these look like good clips, and they're all just us thirsting over muscular women.
Is that a problem?
Oh.
I wouldn't think so.
It's 2025.
If that's wrong,
Year
if
of the
that's wrong
muscular
I don't
woman.
want to be right. Like,
Which one do I choose? Which one do I choose
All
to
of them,
post
all of
tomorrow
them.
morning when the episode goes live?
have like a montage of just thirsting over muscular women.
True.
I don't.
I
want,
mean, if you want to
listen-
get back onto the topic of prod, like I'm always open for other questions. But if
yeah, guys, throw another question, please.
I'm trying to think.
What has been honestly your favorite prod like to work with so far? Whether it not like the crew, maybe just the entire event, but like what was your one going into it that potentially you might have had like mixed ideas or mixed kind of feelings about, but once it got started and by the time it was over, you're like, wow, this was incredible.
So, anytime like it's hard not to just say like anytime I've done Calling All Heroes as being like, you know, my favorite production, but I actually have one that kind of stands out outside of that, and that was when I got to do Dive Party. That was like surprisingly like incredible. Basically like it was like it's so kind of scuffed going into it because this was after the whole like World Cup thing had happened with me with the you know getting to cast the EMEA and bad, you know, people saying mean things. I got brought on for Dive Party and I was going to be working it alongside Jag, or no, not alongside Jag. I was gonna be working alongside Epitomes. And then Jag and Septilence were going to be working NA. But I DM'd the organizers and I was like, hey, this thing just happened to me with the World Cup. Maybe I shouldn't do EMEA again this time. Maybe there should actually be like, you know, a swap. I'm down to if there's nothing else that we can do. But, you know, just as a heads up, or can we at least make sure there's like mods in the chat or whatever? Because, you know, transphobia in the chat. They made a last minute switch and they're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you in NA and pair you up with Septilence. and we're gonna put Jag in EU with Epitomes. So that's how it all ended up working out. I had never worked with Septilence before, so I'm just going in with this like completely new play-by-play, someone I've never worked with, and I'm doing this like tier 3 but like kind of higher profile tournament with like people who have done like contenders, some of the monkey bubble people coming in. Shout out to Jay, one of the best prod people not doing enough work in Overwatch right now. uh it just ended up being like one of the best casts and best productions of my life. Like everything was super super smooth. Septilence was an incredible play-by-play homie. Like I'm kind of surprised he's not still around doing more Overwatch stuff because he's really really good at play-by-play. uh the prod was incredible. Jay was so so good. All of the people who worked at production were awesome. And like I felt really good about what I did. I felt like my analysis was like on point. Everything I did, like, obviously looking back, like it wasn't perfect, but like on the day I was like, holy shit, let's get one of the best casts of my life. Like everything just went so smooth.
Yeah, and like how did I pause?
Yeah,
'Cause
same.
You
Like
were in
light?
contemplation.
Yeah, contemplate.
Hmm.
Like there's always events like I go into questioning about. I think the biggest one was actually like the first LAN I did at DreamHack. It's because it was very like everything was kind of, I'm not gonna say thrown together, but it was like the entire competition happened in the free play area at
Mhm.
at DreamHack. I was like, I just didn't necessarily know what to expect because it was like, okay, we have one observer for each game and everything with that, but like once it got going, like you saw that everyone on the production side was truly working their hardest to make it like the best thing they possibly could with the little resources they had. And then like the casters that were there were also incredible. Like I like Tiny was there, Sam Talks was there, Ventral Crow was there. There were a couple other big ones. DJ TJ was there, but he was the person who put on the entire thing. But like listening to them and just being able to work with them was so fun, and especially for like my first experience doing a LAN, it just ended up being like one that I will always kind of look back at and say, wow, like they did an incredible job with everything they truly had.
It's another one of the situations, like especially at that level, like the people who are still around doing these events are the people who really have the passion for it. Like there's so much passion at that level. It's like, again, the people at the top are at the top for a reason. They are that damn good at what they do and they deserve to be there.
Mm.
But when you take the paycheck around, take the paycheck away, and you've got people just putting their hearts into things for trying to make these smaller events happen and make them go as smoothly as possible, make them as awesome as they can. Like that's where you get like those like little special moments that like you just can't replicate. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I like again, I hope everyone involved with that event and ever like I hope everyone involved with that event like gets to continue to see more success because they absolutely deserve it for the work they put in to make events like that happen.
Yeah.
Again, going back to Dive Party, it makes me sad that like, the people I did prod with on that aren't doing a whole lot in Overwatch these days. And again, like Septilence isn't casting all that much Overwatch. He's like off doing other esports, which I'm sure he's crushing it, but like
Mm.
it's like, yo, you were killing it here. Like
Yeah, like it sucks when you see like you said, someone like Septilence really good at what they did in Overwatch go to other games, but sometimes it's just the thing where they just fell out. They fell out of love with the game, which hey, I don't blame them. Overwatch went through a couple, to put it lightly, rough spots in a lot of ways, but like he's killing it right now. And wasn't he like the host for CECC, like the main stage host for CECC?
yeah, I think he was there with his little cowboy hat and all that stuff. Like
Yeah,
he
I
was,
remember that.
yeah, yeah. So like, so I don't know if it's so much that he fell out of love with Overwatch. I think it's just he has other opportunities that are more gainful, and it's the same reason that you see people like Moxie and Leg Day and Dogman now
Mm.
they're doing Marvel Rivals. It's because like there wasn't really enough gainful opportunity for them to stay and continue to do what they loved in Overwatch. So there was something else that also captured their hearts in a similar way. And they're like, okay, well, if that's what we like, in order to keep doing what I love, which is esports, I'm going to have to move to this new title. And they're crushing it over there. Shout out to all of them. But I like that's kind of what I think might have happened to someone like Septimus, where it's just like, yeah, like I would love to still be doing Overwatch, but you know, I can go be a stage host for CECC. I can show off with my big belt buckle and cowboy hat and make a spectacle of the whole thing, and it rules. It rules what he does.
And the boots. I think he had boots as well.
Of course, like you go all in on that. Like
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't be appropriating Texas culture myself because I'm not, you know, I'm not the biggest Texas fan these days, but you know, for him it works.
Mega, do you have a question?
I really wish I did. I really wish I did. I truly cannot think of anything right now, and it's going to be so annoying. Because I promise I'll think of something later. I got nothing.
You should probably think of something before we stop recording.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Like, that's just not how my brain works. Good.
You can ask me questions off the record too. I'm also down to just like answer questions, but you know, we got to make content also. So
We gotta make content.
Here, CeeBee, do you have any questions? I mean, we normally allow the guest to ask some questions if they have any for us.
Don't say it like allow. Don't say it like allow. Like it's like
with your
in this court.
with your permission, my lord, may I ask you? No, so you know, I think you guys probably already touched on it, but like you guys got to do FaceIt League, like that was awesome. Like what was that? First of all, what was that like doing 15 maps back to back to back? And you know, secondly, like what was it like your taste to get into do like tier 2? How did it feel to like come up to that level after doing, you know, Dex recently doing like unpaid Rising Chord work?
I mean, okay, funny thing about the 15 map thing. Hunter, halfway through the second series, sent me a message on Discord saying, we're going to have 3 map 5s tonight, aren't we? and like, at that point right there, I was like, you know what, we are. Shigegai and Midori, they only wanted to play fucking 5 maps in the playoffs. They had 4 series. They went 5 maps each time. But, like, going into it, me and Hunter had, like, talked about it a little bit. Like, especially when the announcement went out of who was going to be working it, it was like, oh yeah, we know Bullskunk. We know OC. Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas. Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas. Here's Kenobi. Here's Tiny. Here's Jesse. It's like, it was just the thing of like, everyone else that's on this, that's working is like, has been around a little bit. Like, you will know them.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've actively been following CGL, BPL, Rising Chord, and some other like small leagues, some other small leagues, you would have never heard of me or Hunter. Like, that was the one thing going into it, especially because people like you and people like Spectron weren't put into it. Like, I told Hunter, if me and you fuck up so bad, there's going to be people that are saying, why'd you have these two people doing it and not, you know, insert CeeBee, insert Spectron, insert other casters who have done it before. Like, the biggest thing like going into it for me was making sure I knew something about all the teams and that I didn't sound like a fucking idiot.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum. Just don't sound stupid.
Yeah, because like up until that point, I couldn't say for a fact that there's anything big I had worked on up until that point. Like, I had fun moments like doing like big like grand finals for things like CGL, and I did some stuff before with Calling All Heroes with the Rising Chord, which was a lot of fun last year. But having that moment, I'm like, okay, it very much in the same light of Dex. I want to go in with as much knowledge as I possibly can. And going with a thought process of essentially, I don't know if I'm going to get 9 maps. I don't know if I'm going to get 15 maps. But the mindset is just go in there. And if this is the one chance that I have to be in front of this many people, like, do everything in my absolute power to put on a performance. In that first map, I realized, I am nervous as fuck. And it shows. But Dex and I agree. Like, there's a point. I don't know when it happened. There's a point we kind of found our groove and things just kind of fully locked in, and we're just like, well, we're here for the long haul, so fuck it, let's
Yeah.
do
Hopefully
it.
it was before like 12, 13 maps in. Like
It-
hopefully that groove
It
happened.
was
like
Yeah.
it was definitely before that, but like just before like 15 seconds before going on, like Solomon's talking to us, and I want to get. I just want to say one thing to Hunter, but I know what Solomon's telling us is very important. And in our first break, like I ended up talking to him about what I wanted to say, and me and him had like the same kind of thought process of the first map. Let's just get the nerves out of the way. We're gonna fuck up a little bit here. Let's get them all out of the way there. Lock in. It's gonna be just a normal. It's gonna be a normal series after that. And I think for the most part, I think even Solomon, really did say like, yeah, we could tell after that first map, you guys just calmed down a little bit. He said that we were talking like a mile a minute.
yeah, there's still I remember having like those jitters the first couple of like bigger events that I worked, and I remember. I mean, I don't want to put like Tiny Shiny on blast, but I know like even after we had done like a couple of events together, she would still have some times where we're about to go live, and she's like, "CeeBee, are you nervous?" I'm like, "No, we've done this before. Like, just chill." But like secretly, I'm also like, I'm kind of nervous, but I got to put on a strong act because I don't want both of us to just be like quaking in our boots. Like, like you find your stride eventually, but like every time there's always going to be like those jitters before you hit the go live, especially when you know it's like this is a bigger opportunity than what I've had in the past, and like I kind of hope I get to have that feeling. So one of the other things that you said though, Dex, is like I think you guys did crush it, and like having that mentality of like, oh, if we do bad, people are gonna ask like, where's Spectron, where's CeeBee.
Hmm.
I personally speak like I never want people to be like, don't get me wrong, I want people to be like, why is CeeBee not casting
Yeah.
X event, Y event? But I never want it to be why is this person casting and not CeeBee? Because I don't want people to like lift me up at others' expense. Like I want to be up there on my own merits. Like, and I want there to be like I want us to go back to like the days where we had an Overwatch where there was enough, you know, for everybody to go around. Like everybody can have their piece of the pie. Like you look over at Valorant and look at their talent lineups for their rosters that they announce for like their tier 2 or for like game changers where they have like fucking 18 people on a
Yeah.
talent graphic, and then like, you know, that's game changers. We have one duo for calling all heroes, and it's like that's deflating. That really sucks. And it's like I want to go back to where we have like these big massive talent announcements. Everybody gets their chance. The people who are putting in the work and deserve to be there are all there, and there's room for people to grow and rise and still get some of the opportunities. So that's just my take on that part. Like,
Yeah. Like, hey.
Yeah.
He's trying to grab the pencil out of my hand. Yeah, and I understand that. I wish there was a talent announcement as well for all the observers that they had and like producers. Granted,
true, we used to do that.
yeah. Granted, there were some that were coming in very last minute, so they would not have been on the initial graphic to begin with. But still, I think they knew going into the first day, like, hey, you're gonna have these 5 or 6 people both days, and you're gonna have these 2 Saturday, these 2 Sunday, and then a couple others sprinkled in here and there. Like, at least getting them out there, like, and most of the observers that we had there were from BPL. Like, there was no official BPL stream Saturday. I think this past weekend was first weekend of playoffs in BPL.
Well, this was the last week of regular season.
Okay.
Play in start this weekend coming up.
Okay. Yeah, so there was no production Saturday because everyone that would have worked BPL was working the FaceIt thing.
Yeah, I think one person like put on tried to help put on a production. It was like a couple of people, and I can't remember who.
Solomon
but they
said
tried
2
to put
people
something
put on 8 series.
which
That's
was
insane.
Yeah. I
Which-
don't
because-
know if they were
because-
casted, but they put on 8
Yeah.
series that were streamed on BPL, Bad Patch Mario League, and BPL 2. Which huge shout out to those guys, or shout out to them for getting that out there. But like that's one thing. Like I wish everyone behind the scenes got those got that recognition as well, because like we had on shit, I'm gonna hate myself.
Well, I remember there was there was one of the Calling All Heroes events like not last year, but the year before, that BPL got brought on to do the prod for,
Mhm.
and they did that announcement where they had like all of the graphics, and it was like awesome because I got to retweet that and be like, yo, these are actually some of the best people behind the scenes
Mhm.
right now. Like people like Solomon and Knock are like they've been working behind the scenes, like quietly being like the backbone of grassroots esports in Overwatch for a long time now. So, like, getting to, like, actually they get a talent graphic too, I get to retweet that, that's awesome. I miss when we used to have that level of, like, stability and, we can have these, like, 4 or 5 casting duos
Mhm.
working a big event that we have an entire weekend of casting for, and,
Yeah.
the prod gets their flowers as well because they also absolutely deserve it. They are also still here putting in the work with what passion they have left.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
it was last week's episode with Cry, where we had talked about like, hey, you guys don't get like observers don't get a lot of credit. There's not something on the screen at all times saying like, hey, this is who's getting this shot. And Cry explained to us like when there's a clip that is from their perspective that gets like tweeted out there, like that becomes the biggest thing for them because it's their work, like, and people are praising what's being shown because of them.
It's
It's
like there's like a dichotomy with like observing because it's like when you do it really, really well, no one really knows. Like they don't notice because
Mhm.
they get just absorbed in the game. It's only when you get those little moments of like catching something like that gets clippable and that gets passed around that people are like, holy shit, W prod, W obs, like that's really sick. Like you guys are really crushing it. But it's like if you're looking for those kind of moments, then you're like you're not doing your job right. So like it really sucks because like that means like 99% of the time it's gonna be a thankless job, and then you'll get that 1% where you're like the hero.
Mhm. I'm trying to find it because like I think was it OW Esports that tweeted just a shot from Orange last night?
He was one of the shots that Orange did.
Yeah,
Yeah, they went
Orange
inside in.
inside
Yeah,
of one of the
the
cars
Orange.
on Circuit Royale, and
Yeah,
like either the FaceIt account or the Overwatch Esports accounts tweeted this shot goes hard,
yeah.
and
Oh,
Orange
Orange.
automatically just retweeted it's like saying something. I think it's something along the lines of "This is me."
I mean, homie's got to bookmark that tweet and like put that on a resume. Like start getting more gigs with that. Like that goes in like that's like obs reel material. Oh
Bob's
yeah, that
Orange.
does go hard. That goes
It
hard.
does. I'm pretty sure Orange did that for one of our games
Our-
too on Circuit
Our
Royale.
like when we had Orange on, we talked about like their favorite spots. Like they've gotten shots from inside the garbage cans on Kings Row, where they're just following
How'd
the
you get
teams.
shots inside my teammates? What?
That's crazy.
Got the colonoscopy cam on my Reinhardt.
I
What
was
what?
I was gonna say just clipping out what you said, getting shots inside my teammates. Oh god.
You said inside the garbage cans on Kings Row. That's every Rhino TP I queue up with in ranked. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, the shots inside, like in the actual like physical, bins in the map that are part of the geometry put there on purpose by the developers. Good work, Orange.
Yeah. Um, our Orange has a knack for finding those. Like, they've told us some of their favorite spots of like where they are. Like, I remember the garbage can one. They love to do this on Circuit Royale because you can go in all the cars on Circuit Royale. So there's a couple different angles you could get for it. But like, it's awesome when something like this gets thrown out there and Orange knows it's them and they're able to take credit for it. Like, it's so big for them. And it's because we don't highlight the people behind the scenes enough. It's mostly just the casters. Like there, and like you said, there are other games that do highlight the observers, the producer, the replay ops. Like I know Valorant does it a little bit, League of Legends does it a little bit. But like it's part of the reason why like this podcast started. I wanted the observers to be able to come in and like talk about themselves, and the producers come and talk about themselves, and talk about just everything that goes into what they do because they are the real people who make esports work.
Yeah, and and we used to give them more credit, like back in the day. Like there was a period of time like in the middle of the Overwatch League or like kind of towards the end where you had like Obs Diva, shout out to Jess. I love her. She's another one of the sweetest people I've ever met in the world. Like Obs Junkrat, Obs Winston, like all of them, and like they just kind of like got the curtain peeled to reveal them because they were always like showing up in the match chat in the lobbies. And then like they get to be a part of like the curtain call at OWCS Grand Finals 2023. Like that was a really sweet moment also. And also getting to meet them as well like at that event was another like highlight of my life basically. Because it was like one thing to be like to meet some of the other casters and be like and then be like, oh hey, yeah, you're CeeBee, we yeah, what's up? It was like, oh shit, like, you know, my heroes know me. But like we all do the same thing, like we're all casters, so like of course it's the people who worked the obs were like, oh my god, CeeBee, like we're so happy to see you, we're so happy to see you here. And I'm like, hold on, you guys know me because like we're like, hello, like there's overlap, sure, but there's not that much overlap. And they're like, no, like you're all like, you guys are too sweet. I love all of them.
Like they're some of the best people. But we've been going a long time here.
Yeah.
So Mega, I think it's time.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we're pulling the pin out now. Okay, so listen.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with Blue's Clues. This is how we end every single episode.
Well, it has something to do with Blue's Clues.
Well, that's what I meant to say. Right.
Okay.
Anyway, it has nothing to do with esports is what I meant to say. I don't know why Dex lets me end the episodes this way, but I absolutely love it. It's great. So, you know Blue's Clues, obviously. You know Ball, as the
But
kids
yeah,
say.
I grew up. I never understood how salt and pepper could make a baby called paprika, but I just kind of like suspended my disbelief.
Interesting that
Did
you
I just
bring up...
predict what this is about to be? Oh my
No,
god.
no, slightly. So
Vaguely.
listen, basically,
Oh,
here's
okay.
what's going to happen: is I'm going to read a factual statement, and we simply look for your reaction to that factual statement.
Okay.
Okay. The house that they live in, the Blue's Clues house, Mr. Salt is listed on the deed as the owner.
That's interesting. What does Mr. Salt do that he can afford a house in this economy?
See, but that's the thing. Nobody, like, he's not technically employed. He's just at home. But think about this, right? A human dude, Steve, Joe, or we always forget the name of the new one.
Alex?
There's another new one?
Yeah,
There's
one.
three. There's three total. Because they did like a movie back in like 2021.
Surprisingly
but
great
Wait, so
cinematography.
what you're saying? Okay, so what I'm starting to get at, like, it seems like Salt is actually just a landlord.
That's what I'm saying. How is
letting
a salt
various
shaker a landlord? And like,
Oh.
imagine having to pay your rent to a salt shaker.
Oh, fuck that guy. I hate him. He's a landlord. He can fuck him.
This is the first time someone's ever gone down this path with this question.
Like, what? So that explains how he just leeches. He makes Steve pay rent, and then so Steve's gonna be the one paying for the house, but Salt gets to be the one listed. No, that's theft if I've ever heard it.
Salt gets money because he has like what, 4 kids now?
Yeah, he's got a lot of kids.
So he's also collecting paychecks from the government because he's got all these kids. Salt sounds like a real piece of shit. And like he could be like Steve could be owning this house, building equity, all that stuff, you know, building up his credit score, maybe moving up in the world. He's the only one who seems to be actually employed. Maybe Blue, but I don't know, like if a salt shaker can own a house, maybe a dog can also work a coal mine or something. Or be a detective. That's like, I think that's more like what she's equipped to do. I think she'd be a good detective. But like,
no, Blue's
that's
now.
the whole point.
Isn't Blue now a boy?
No, Blue is a girl.
Blue's still a girl.
Blue,
okay,
Blue,
I thought that was one of the retcons. My bad.
Blue was always a girl.
Blue was always a girl. I think Magenta was a boy.
Yeah.
Magenta was a boy at one point, but got retconned, I think, with Joe into being a girl.
Joe's a girl now?
No.
They transitioned.
Like, when
I am so happy for her. Joe is just J.O. now.
Oh my dear Neft.
Here, I want to tell the story of how this question, how I think Mega almost wanted to stop asking this question. when we had
Soab.
when we
Fucking
had
Soab.
Soab on, we asked she asked him the question, and Soab responded with, "Oh, I went to college with Joe."
Okay.
And we just stopped right there. Mr. Salt didn't fucking matter anymore. It was just like, yeah, I went to college with the dude who was in Blue's Clues. Like,
With like the dude who played Joe or the actual character, like was there?
Dude who played
or-
Joe.
The
The
dude
dude
who
who
played
played Joe.
Okay.
like
There's
Like,
just, there's just a
it
guy
hurt.
acting like Joe from Blue's Clues there the whole time. The character exists.
Just
So
started
not only,
LARPing over.
so not only is this like landlord renting to people, but like Joe's a student on like Joe's got to pay off student loans and got to pay off debt to live with this freeloading fuck ass
Wait.
salt shaker. And
Wait.
and Joe's got to put up with the salt shaker's kids too, and his
His-
bitch wife. I don't like.
his
This sucks.
bitch
Mrs.
I-
Pepper attaching strays.
I mean, this is fair. I mean, I looked up Mr. Salt Blue's Clues in images, and the 10th image in, I shit you not, is what I have posted inside of the general chat.
Hold up, I'm looking. I'm peeping.
I'm
We're
looking.
peeping.
It is at the very top. I'm just saying, okay?
No. This got debunked because Headrunner linked. This is from a video. No,
Debunked.
this is not real. This got debunked. The fucking people actually don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know where their spices come from. This got debunked. This is not real. Absolutely wrong.
Wait,
Incorrect.
is it
I love this- I
is
love
this
this
because
podcast.
does this circle back to what I said before about how
Yes.
salt and pepper make paprika? Is that
Yes. However, because specifically it talks about in the backstory about how Mr. Salt is from France, and then Mrs. Pepper, I don't fully remember, but she's some other part of the world to where it makes sense that they made paprika.
what
It-
are
like,
the
the combo
other
worked.
what are their other kids? Because you said they had four kids.
Cinnamon, and then I think it's like cayenne and ginger. Because there's paprika that's the oldest, then there's cinnamon, and then there's a pair of twins that's the youngest. I don't remember the name of the twins.
Ginger's kind of like a regional spice though. Like that hails mostly from like, the Southeast Asia kind of like
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
there might be a case like
No,
What the
listen,
fuck
the
is this
full-
shit?
No, the video. Literally, hang on. I'm finding the video Headrunner linked me to prove that it gets
Guys.
debunked. Okay,
Guys.
where's
I
fucking
love this photo. Oh my god.
wrong?
What,
No.
Wait, why does Cinnamon has a fucking backwards hat? That's sick.
Wait.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
rad.
No.
Cinnamon's a cool dude.
Cool.
Cinnamon's fucking. I didn't know Cinnamon was chill like that.
Yeah, Cinnamon's a chill kid. He like flips off his douche father and like goes and like hangs out with his cool friends, and they support their community. They're good kids.
Mega, whatever you
This
got.
is all under This is all under the premise that
There's nothing
Salt
to
is a
add. There's nothing to
landlord.
add. There's nothing to add. I just can't listen. All I'm saying is there's this rumor for years. Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper are both faithful
Mr.
to each
Pepper.
other. Mr. Pepper, they made
transitioned
sense.
too.
No, but
Why do I don't see why Mrs. Pepper has to marry Salt for his money? Like her father's a doctor. Like what do we?
Wait. I don't know if
Yes,
you're
that's
just
true.
making that up or is that part of the lore.
Yeah, Dr.
That's
Pepper.
true.
You're all familiar with Dr. Pepper.
oh,
God fucking damn it.
I love this photo.
all right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. I'm just
I need this photo specifically. I'm sending. You know what, Mega. This is going to your personal collection. This is perfect.
Are you posting another one?
This is a good bit.
This is a great bit. There you go,
It's been a
Mega.
good bit.
What?
I
I was
under the
afraid to
assumption.
put this one in general, I guess, but fuck it.
Oh,
Mrs. Pepper. Marty, they don't even look like me.
Well, thank you everyone so much for coming out to this podcast about esports production. That will do it for this week's episode, our 25th one. As always, thank you so much to Huntertain, and Well, Megalass left. Thank you so much to her as well. CeeBee, thank you so much for coming on this week. This is our longest episode ever by a long shot, like a long time. It was great though.
Japanese.
This was a fun one. I would normally say something going into at the end here saying I don't know who's next week's guest is going to be, but hey, 25 episodes in, I'm starting to plan ahead for the first time. Progress.
Hold up. No. I'm not letting you get away with this. You didn't fucking plan ahead. It's the person you asked. Second, you've now planned for next week. No, you didn't plan ahead. A happy accident happened.
You couldn't let me have this bit. You couldn't let me have this bit once.
No, absolutely not. No.
Who are we having next week? It'll be good.
I'm not gonna say. You'll have to tune in next week to figure that out. But again, CeeBee, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for watching this episode of For the Love of Prod. This was certainly one of the episodes, honestly, probably one of our better episodes. But yeah, see you next week for another great episode. Until then, see ya.